June 7th could change the face of heavyweight boxing in the Southern Hemisphere. On one side, you have Australia's heir apparent Justice Huni, a slick, volume-driven, and hungry for world recognition. On the other side, you have Britain's undefeated monster Fabio Wardley, 18-0, 1 draw, 17 KOs, built like a brick wall with some killer power. Now today we're going to break down every angle, the keys to victory and how styles clash, and why this fight might be the crown jewel of the heavyweight division down under. Now let's get into it. The heavyweight crown jewel, the blue ribbon division. Few matchups carry the same weight, literally and figuratively, as Justice Huni and Fabio Wardley in Ipswich, UK. Justice Huni, 12-0, 7 KOs, 193 centimetres of sleek boxing IQ at 26 years old. Now, a Queensland native, was favoured to win the gold medal in Tokyo before an untimely injury. Now he's back with a mission: drown opponents in volume, pace, no power, no problem. On the other side, Fabio Wardley, 18-0, 1 draw, 17 KOs, 196 centimetres of raw finishing power at 30 years old of age. Now Wardley's chin is rock solid, his creative right hand is infamous, and his ferocity unmatched. Wardley's last 2 fights came against Fraser Clark, a bronze medalist who fights like a high IQ battering ram. Clark's stationary style let Wardley find holes for that signature overhand right, and even when he gassed, that chin never wavered. But here's the rub: Clark is the opposite of Huni. Clark walks forward, Huni dances. Clark unloads, power shots. Huni sets traps with feints, throws punches in bunches. Now let's talk about Wardley's strengths. He's a ferocious finisher. Once he smells blood, he is absolutely ruthless. He has quick hands, his jab snaps, but he needs you in range. He needs you stationary to land those shots. And he has a granite chin. His hits don't slow him. Even the 12th round against Fraser Clark, it did not slow him. But he also has the experience edge. He has the experience in these big fights, as well as more fights with quality opponents in comparison to Huni. Now Wardley's vulnerabilities, his predictability, stationary combos, and versus a mover, I think he can be picked apart. Gas tank, now that first war with Clark left him breathing pretty heavy and made some questions about that gas tank. And ring IQ, now I don't think he's in the top 5% of boxers, but I think that savage overhand right really mitigates those mistakes. Now meet Justice Huni, the Aussie mover with a boxer's mind. He says, quote, "What's power if you can't land it? I'll take you to deep waters, I'll drown you." His style reminds me very much of a young Usyk, slick, high volume, footwork first. Now some of Huni's strengths: volume and pace, relentless jab, volume punching, he breaks his opponents down. He has slick footwork, he has an elite delivery system. He angles off, resets, never stands still. Fight IQ, he feints and traps and opens up for those counters against his opponents. Finishing power, 7 KOs, solid, but not a one-punch knockout artist. Experience, he has 12 fights and fewer rounds at pace against guys with granite chins. And also, one big question: fighting in front of thousands of hostile Brits in Ipswich, can he stay composed? Time to spell out the keys to victory for each warrior. Now Justice Huni, man, keep that feint game going. Keep Wardley guessing and uncomfortable, expending loads of his energy. Get him into those deep waters. Now push a relentless pace and test that famous chin of his. Now you got to tie him up when you're hurt. Don't give Wardley free shots at close range. Now, mind the crowd. Silence that home fan advantage with smart ring craft. Now let's flip over to Fabio Wardley. His keys to victory: overhand counter, be creative. Fake that jab, set up those bombs, be creative with the right hand. You know you've got it, you're unorthodox. Now cut off the ring. Trap Huni against the ropes, force a stationary exchange. Wardley wins a slug out. And respect the pace. Pick your moments, don't chase Huni's volume. And finishing instincts. When Huni hesitates, unleash that killer right. Here's where I stand. I love the idea of a mover versus a power puncher in this kind of war, and that contrast in the heavyweight boxing, this is when it's at its finest. Now, my gut says if Huni can stick and move for those 8 rounds plus and force Fabio to expand his energy, we'll see an Aussie upset guaranteed. But if Wardley times that overhand right, especially late, and gets Huni a little bit rocking, that could spell disaster. Now, I'm a little bit torn. Do I cheer for the hometown slickness or that bulldozer puncher? Now, I want you to drop your verdict below. Is it going to be Justice or Fabio? Who's going to be walking out that world contender? But if I had a gun to my head, I'd give it a 60-40 to Huni. And that's just the way it is. This fight isn't for a belt. It's for global recognition. A win for Huni vaults him into the world title conversation. A win for Wardley cements his status as Britain's next heavyweight star and opens the door to huge pay-per-views. The next steps, if Huni wins, look for a world title eliminator or direct to a major sanctioning belt in 2026. If Wardley wins, we'll hear whispers of a showdown with another superstar, Teramoana Jr., Bokoli, or maybe even Joshua Fury down the line. Bands, remember, this is the kind of clash that defines eras. Don't blink. Well, there you have it. The reasonable breakdown between Justice Huni and Fabio Wardley. Will the Australian slick mover drown the bulldozer, or will Britain's KO artist light up Ipswich and take another scalp? Listen, smash that like button. Hit the subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on another fight analysis. Drop your prediction and let's get that debate going. I'm Guy McKinnon, this is Still Boxing, and until next time.
Thank you for listening.